look a mess right now, and this feels really awkward to make. This is like the first thing I've ever filmed of myself like this, I feel like. And I look like trash right now, but it's because it's been a really crazy um, last couple days, last week. And yeah, I've just been in a pretty bad situation. I guess I'll get into it. Um, in December and the beginning of January, I was just having a very, very hard time. I was talking to this girl, and we ended up ceasing contact. Things ended. And I had been going on like little dates here and there, but it would always be a one-time date, and then we wouldn't hang out anymore, and I would just end up by myself. And anyways, fast forward to January, about the 15th, I want to say, or probably about the 10th, around that time of January, I finally matched with this girl on Tinder. I didn't think much of it. I thought she was really cute. And we started texting that day. I believe it was like a Sunday or something. It was around the time everyone was wrapping up for the most part from the holidays and New Year's and everything. So we talked that whole time because she had off from the holidays still, like I said. So we talked that whole day pretty much, and we just instantly hit it off. We talked about everything under the sun, and the conversation just flew so naturally, and it was really good. And I thought she was super cool, and she seemed really to think that I was really cool and like talking to me as well. So basically, after that, to try and keep this too short and not go into every single little unnecessary detail, we hung out. I picked her up from her place after work one day. Once she got out of work one day, and around 7 p.m., it was dark. I picked her up, drove her to the mall where there's my local mall. There's a round one, and that's basically an arcade type of place, kind of similar to Dave and Buster's, but they have a lot of Japanese things and everything, and a bowling alley and stuff. So I took her there. We had a great time. Once we were done there, we went through the mall a little bit because they're connected. So we went through the mall a bit, hung out. Then we walked down the street and got some McDonald's and talked some more, and everything just went fantastic. Then I drove her home, and and yeah, everything was great from there. We would text every day, throughout the day, not constantly or anything, but while she's at work, we'd snap on Snapchat back and forth, or we'd text. And when she would get home from work every day, we'd text and have conversations and Snapchat each other. And everything was great. Then a week later, we went to an indoor mini golf course, and then got some ice cream after. Then after that, I invited her to my house. We watched some movies. We ended up becoming movie buddies, um, just watching movies together. Then I went to her place a couple times. We watched some movies. While we were over there, I slept over there once. Um, just everything was going fantastic. But then she just started to fade away from me for not no real reason or anything. It just seemed like she didn't want to do it. She didn't want, from what she said, the responsibility or the commitment of a relationship. And she started to feel more of a friendship. So things just naturally just started to fade. And it was hard for a while for me, but after a while I got fine with just being her friend because I realized, oh well, maybe it's just the wrong time. She does have a lot going on in her life, and I have some things that I could be focusing on too. So maybe it is just a bad time for us to both be trying to do this, and it'll come back around or whatever. So for the time being, I'm fine being her friend. I still enjoy hanging out with her. I still enjoy talking with her. I'm gonna try my best to be a really good friend to her, and I hope we can keep having fun together and doing stuff. And she was on board, and everything seemed fine. So fast forward to this previous week, everything was normal last week, and we made a plan, hung out on Friday, everything was fine. We did have a little discussion about what we were gonna do or what the future was gonna hold, because that was around the time when we first, it was still brand new that we decided to just be friends completely, just platonically, 100%. So that did come up a little bit at the end when I was driving her home, but like I said, we ended up agreeing on everything. We ended up agreeing to be friends. We ended up um just agreeing, and everything was good. We were on good terms. Everything was fine. Everything got figured out, and we were good. And she was acting perfectly normal that whole Friday night. All Saturday was acting normal. I was texting her like I normally did from the beginning, and everything was good. But then Sunday came, and I was gonna ask her like, hey, like, what should our plan be for this week coming up? Because normally on Sundays is when we make plans. And I sent her a little Snapchat on. Also, I got donuts today, like, trying to make conversation and just excited to hear what she would say back. But it was a lot of hours and she never said anything, which wasn't really too out of the ordinary, because sometimes if she's busy or whatever, she'll take a couple hours to get back to me. So I wasn't thinking anything of it. Then she opened my Snap and didn't say anything. I thought that was really weird, and I honestly got very panicked and almost had kind of a panic attack, and I just felt like I was losing my breath or whatever. Not because it was a big deal that she didn't answer me, but because that was really weird, and I just had a bad feeling in my gut ever since Friday for whatever reason, or just in the weeks in general, because I feel like realistically the whole thing didn't make sense. It's like, how are we gonna be friends and keep spending all this time together? Like, what if she meets someone else? Then it's like, how am I gonna have time to fit into her schedule? Because keep in mind, she has two jobs, and she has all these pets at home in her own place, and so she has a lot she has to do. So I was realistically, I think maybe that could be part of why everything went down, which I'll get to. But anyways, so I thought that was very bizarre. But then I thought about it and I talked to my friend about it, and then I calmed down. I was like, she's probably just having a busy day today. So I left her alone, didn't say anything the rest of the day or night. Then the next morning came, I still didn't hear anything. So I hit her up. I was like, hey, is everything all right? Just checking in. Like, kind message, genuinely just wondering where she was at, because normally we never really went that long without texting since I've known her for a couple months now, like 2, 3 months or whatever it is. And she was like, oh yeah, sorry, I just got busy, or I was just busy. So I was like, all right, well, that's good. I was relieved. I felt good. I was happy. I thought that made sense, and everything made sense. But then that we're in the process of Monday, and I really don't hear anything from her after that morning. The whole day she's radio silence. Then once it's around the time she's supposed to get back home from work, I still don't really hear anything from her, and that's really weird, because normally when she gets home from work, she'll check her phone, and we'll always have some sort of conversation or talk about something together throughout the night, off and on, and then always ended with a good night. I didn't hear anything. So I thought, oh, it's probably nothing. Kind of sucks we didn't get to talk, but maybe she just had a really busy day Sunday, and she was really tired and went straight to sleep when she got home from work, especially because it was the very beginning of daylight savings, so I didn't think anything of it. But then Tuesday is the same story, Wednesday is the same story, Thursday is the same story, and keep in mind, we're talking on these days, and she'll reply to me like normal, but it'll be one reply, and we'll talk for like a minute max, 2 minutes max. Like I'll send, she'll reply to my one message and say like one thing, and then I'll say something else, and then she'll never return until the complete next day, or she'll say one other thing and then won't return till the complete next other day. So anyways, through the course of the whole week, it's like this, and I only hear from her probably like a total of 10 minutes combined from every day over the whole week until we reached yesterday, which was Sunday. So I'm thinking it's really weird, but at the same time, I'm like, well, when she comes back, she's acting normal like she always does, and she's adding to the conversation, and it seems like everything's good. So it's like, I don't really know. Maybe she's just having a busy week. So then, anyways, back to Sunday, this Sunday that just passed yesterday. I'm about to ask her about making plans like we always do every week. And I'm like, yeah, like, what should we do? I'm pretty free any day this week. What day will work for you? I said that to her at 9 in the morning. And then I don't hear anything from her all day. And that's super weird because, like I said, normally on Sundays, besides the previous Sunday where she disappeared, normally on Sundays, she'll answer me right away because she always has off. And even if she's doing errands or other things, it's like she'll still get back to me like relatively quickly, especially once the evening rolls around. But I didn't hear anything all day. The evening rolls around, and throughout the course of the day, I sent her 2 additional messages, just kindly asking her, like, hey, can you please get back to me pretty quick? I'm not trying to rush or anything, but it's like, I know that if we don't make a plan by the end of the day today, it's going to be really hard to do so once we're already in the mix of the week, because she's going to be at work, I'm going to be doing my things or whatever. So it's going to be a lot harder. And I was also concerned, it's like if she has another busy week like last week, like I don't know what that caused that. I was thinking maybe she was having a busy week at work, like a lot of, because she's a dog groomer. So I was thinking, oh, maybe it's getting warmer out and everything. So maybe it's just been really packed over there and she's grooming a lot of dogs. So it's like, maybe that's what this is about. So it's like, it's really important that we get this plan made on Sunday, because if it's another week like that for her at work or whatever the problem is, then I'm not going to be able to get a hold of her, and we're going to miss a whole another week of hanging out. Not that we got to constantly hang out every week, but it's like we already didn't hang out last week, then we're not going to hang out this week again. It's like, that sucks. And it's like, I feel like that's not good for our friendship, that we're only going to hang out once every 2 weeks, or who knows how long this is going to drag out. So I'm like getting more and more concerned, and I'm trying to get a hold of her. But like I said, after 3 messages throughout the course from 9 a.m., between the course of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., there was 3 messages and she never said anything. So it's like, I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe she didn't, maybe she just got busy and didn't get a chance to get back to me yet. And she's told me before that, oh yeah, recently I've just been going off my phone and doing other things. So I thought maybe she just hasn't been paying attention to her phone like that. So I'll try and give her a call so I can get her attention and then figure this out. And then also I wanted to ask her about, like, is everything okay, or like what's going on? Like, are you upset with me about something, or did I do something? Because it's like, I've been having a lot of trouble getting a hold of you, and recently when we talk, it's like you've been kind of leaving mid-conversation, and there's just a lot of things have been pretty weird with how you've been acting compared to like how you are normally and how we're in contact normally. So I was about to like just calmly ask her about that and trying to figure out, like, are you just busy, or like what's really the issue? Because it's been really hard to get a hold of you, and it's kind of been making me feel bad now, and it's trying to kind of get a little frustrating. And I'm trying to like work that out. So anyways, I called her, don't hear anything for a few minutes, and finally she comes back and she's pissed. She's like, bro, you are being so annoying right now. Literally no one else texts me like you do. And at that point I'm just stunned, because I've never seen her like that. She's never got mad at me before, ever. She's always the sweetest person ever. I've only seen her be super sweet. She's always, if she misses a message, she'll come back and be super apologetic. Um, She's always kind to me, hospitable. So I was just, what is, I was like, I was in the Twilight Zone or something. I was like, what in the world is going on? It's like, why are you so upset right now? And she's saying, I'm too much, and she doesn't know if she has the energy for this. And I'm like, the energy for what? Like, we've been discussed this and everything was good. We've decided to be friends, and that's what we were doing, and that's what we've still been doing. And you were good, and you were the one that vouched and wanted to push for us to try and do that. And she was like, yeah, but you still keep harassing me. Harassing you? I'm like, how am I harassing you? Because all I had done was text her like we normally had texted from since I met her 2 months ago or whatever it's been. And when I ask her to hang out or whatever, it's like I don't press the issue or anything. I ask her one time, and I never am like, oh, we gotta hang out, or I'm never like pestering her about it. If she says no, I'll be like, oh, okay, I understand. And I'll wait some time, some days, or until the next week to ask again if I feel like asking. So I'm just confused. I'm like, harassing? What are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, because I've told you I need space, but you keep texting me nonstop. And I'm like, the only reason I started texting you more is because you disappeared. You've been gone the whole week. And then I'm trying to figure out, get an answer for you because I'm about to go out to some stuff or try to hang out. But you haven't been able to get back to me the whole, like, almost 24 hours. So I'm like trying to speed up the process or figure out like how we can get this figured done. But then it's like, where are you? And I'm like, you've been gone all week. So I'm just texting you more because it's like I'm trying to figure out what's going on or where you've been, and like also figure out this other stuff. So I'm trying to get a hold of you. That's why I'm doing that. And keep in mind, I was never spamming her or sending her like stuff all day or anything like that. Anyways, to begin with, even though she did disappear, kind of, and all this weird stuff was going on. So, but then to her, I guess she felt that I was um, texting her too much. I was being clingy, whatever the case may be, all that type of stuff. And she's saying, oh, you're always, oh my god, do you like me? Oh my god, are you okay? Like, I'm fucking fine. You're just a pick me boy. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, because never in my life have I ever insulted her. Have I ever rose my voice at her? Have I ever swore at her? Like, all I've ever done is be good to her, bro. Care about her. Even when everything went south, all I did was try my best to be a good friend to her. And I didn't try to take advantage of the situation and be like, oh, I'm gonna pretend to be your friend, and then hopefully things, hopefully this or that. But like, no, like, I was trying to legit be a good friend to her and be there for her and have fun and hang out and just try and be a great friend in every way you can be a good friend to somebody. So I was just blown away the way she was talking to me and calling me a pygmy boy and all these things. Just because I wanted to talk to her about my day like we had been doing from the jump, from the beginning. And just because I wanted to hang out with her because I like being around her, I like talking to her, I like being her friend. I thought she was my good friend. I thought before all this happened a week ago, I thought she was my best friend. We're talking all the time. We're hanging out, had a good time hanging out. We have all these future plans. Oh, when it gets summertime, we can grill out and go to the zoo together and this and that. And even after we stopped being romantic, she was like, oh, don't worry. We can still do all these plans together that we have. And I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, even though we're just friends now, it's like we can still do all our plans we had together. Like, So I'm thinking, oh, great, like we can still go to the zoo, we can still go to like the dog bar thing where you can take your dog with you and have drinks or get a meal together. I'm thinking we can, everything's straight, we can still do all this stuff. But then I'm just mind blown. So it's like, well, wait, for no reason, you've just been ignoring me this whole week and you've lied and said you were busy when you weren't for no reason after I did nothing wrong to you. And then now you're mad at me simply because I was worried about my friend. And here I'm over here thinking, man, she's probably so stressed. I wonder if something happened in her family, like maybe someone passed away, or maybe she's having a hard time mentally because I know she's had depression before, like different some mental illnesses that she takes medication for. So I'm like genuinely concerned for my friend, my buddy, and also just feeling bad because I'm starting to think more and more like, maybe she is ignoring me, but I'm at the same time I'm like, nah, we're like practically best friends, bro. The way she acts and the amount we talk and all this, all the things we've been through together over these last 2 months. Or been 2 months, almost 3 months too. And what we've been talking, I'm thinking there's no way. Like, and plus that wouldn't even make sense. We were just fine. Last week, bro, we were just fine. But no, she says this whole big speech to me, and I need space. She says, please stop texting me. I need space. I'll come back and text you when I want to text you. And I'm like, why are you being so aggressive when I want to text you? Like, no one ever said you had to text me. Why are you being like that right now? I never once said she had to text me or insinuated that or pressed her about why aren't you texting me? Nothing. I've just been regular. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, when I want to text you, it's like all of a sudden I saw this different side of her that I had no idea about, and I don't know why she was so furious all of a sudden. So, anyways, I wake up this morning. Long story short, she unadded me off Snapchat, which was the only thing we really talked on. So it's like I just don't know, bro. This shit's baffling, and it just makes me not want to date anymore, or not to be it just makes me not want to date anymore, bro, or try and have female friends because it just gets so complicated for no reason. And it's like, it just feels like a huge waste of time. Like, if she didn't like me or didn't want to be with me or whatever, that's perfectly fine. But she could have said that before we ever got involved. And it's like, if she didn't know that, it's like she could have told me that after the first time, the second week, but she waits until we've already hung out like 4 or 5 times. We've already been talking and hanging out and doing things together for 4 weeks, and then she's gonna say, I don't know if I felt everything I want to feel yet. Maybe we should. Maybe things are gonna move closer to us just being friends." And I'm like, well, I mean, I really didn't expect that because from day one you've been acting like head over heels for me and all this and that. And she just said, yeah, but I think maybe I'm feeling more of a friendship. And, I did just get out of a pretty bad relationship back in December, which would have been a month ago. So it's like, I don't really want to get into a commitment right now, maybe in a couple months and all this and that. So I'm like, well, are you still willing to like try this? Keep trying? And she was like, yeah, oh yeah, we can keep trying. I do love hanging out with you still and all this and that. So I'm thinking, oh, well, we're good. And then when we hang out the next time and just through the week talking and the next week talking, everything is like going better in a better direction. So I'm thinking, oh, like it's working now because things are going way better than they were when we had that discussion. But then all of a sudden, out the blue, one day she said, yeah, I think we just work better as friends. Let's just be friends. And like I said, to circle back around, like I said, at first I was hurt about it and I didn't like it. But it's like, I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Maybe it is just a bad time because she's working all the time. She's a lot going on. I have things going on. There, we can barely hang out, only like once a week. It's like, how would we be a couple? Like, that would suck. It's probably just a bad time. And I do like hanging out with her. I do like talking to her still. I do think she's a really cool person. So let's just be friends. I'll try and be a good friend to her. And everything was straight. But then I don't know what the hell happened. We hung out on Friday. That past Friday, we hung out. Everything went fine. Everything was good. Then Sunday, out the blue, like a flick of a switch, she just changed. And then I guess Sunday she just had it and we got into it. She said all those hurtful things to me out the blue. I don't know where that came from or what I did to deserve that. And then now she's gone for now or probably forever, honestly, because I don't know. I don't get what she's so pissed about or what happened, to be honest with you. But so I don't know. I guess I kind of made this video just to maybe find someone that has gone through something similar, or maybe try and get the general public's thoughts on maybe what happened or what I did wrong or what maybe her problem was or why she just flipped and switched so randomly when nothing happened. And maybe if someone else sees this, they can find some sort of resolve or feel better knowing that someone else is going through this. But like I said, I'm just done with trying to date or trying to have like female friends. Or I mean, from the beginning I wasn't looking for a female friend. I wanted to date and wanted a relationship and everything, but like I said, all that happened, so that wasn't an option anymore. But I just can't do this anymore. I have two other stories of things that went